Welcome, everybody. Are we ready for the VA panel? Then without further ado, let me introduce our guests. Andrea.
Thank you.
And Kelly.
You're so far away. I'm going to scooch over. Come on over.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something you say a lot? Wow.
Is it something I say a lot? Wow. It is now.
Wow.
So,
I think it's an internet thing.
Oh, okay.
welcome to PonyCon.
Thank you.
We're going to start this panel with a few questions from me to the VAs, and after that we'll quickly move to the questions from the audience. We have 2 microphones set up on the sides, so when I tell you to get in line, you can go to either side, whichever is closer to you. There will be a volunteer to hear your questions before you're allowed to ask it, so make sure you ask nice questions. So, let's get started. You've both been doing voice actor work for quite some time, and the reason you're here is for your work on the show My Little Pony. When you first started on this show, especially for Andrea, you had no idea it would take off this hard. Mm-hmm. How was that for you when there were suddenly so many fans?
We didn't believe it when we first heard about it. So Jason, the animation director from the first few seasons, we were recording, I guess we must have been recording season 2, and he came into the studio and said, oh, there's this online, there's bronies, and they love the show. And we just thought he was pulling our leg. What are you talking about, Jason? What are you saying? So it didn't seem real at all, and it was so surprising, but it's been the most wonderful surprise. It's just been absolutely amazing to get to meet all these incredible people in the fandom and learn about all these different people from all over the world and their love of My Little Pony and how they relate to the characters. So it's been amazing.
Awesome. And Kelly, you came into the show a few seasons later. When you started, was it already clear?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I came on in season 5, so I was well aware of the fandom at that point. We're friends and we work on other shows together, and so everyone was talking about the fandom and the incredible art everybody makes and the conventions they'd gone to and people that they'd met. So, it was the hot ticket in town, being on My Little Pony. Every actor in town wanted to be on the show to be able to experience the fandom largely, I think. So when I was invited to be on in season 5, I was like, yes, now's my chance. But I thought, well, I'm only going to be in 1 episode, so I don't know, we'll see if I even get to go to any of these things. And then it also turned out to be the most wonderful surprise, because I had no idea what was in store for Starlight Glimmer either. So, so it was surprising in that way, too.
The show has ended quite a few years ago. Have you been working on anything else lately?
We were talking about this backstage. Yeah. It's like, what can I talk about? What's aired? What do people know about?
I've been working on, and it's airing right now, is Lego Friends, and it's on YouTube. And that's all I can think of that's allowed.
Scrolling through our NDAs.
There's another show, I don't know if it would be in Europe at all, but it's called Rocket Club. And that was a fun one. And I've also been working on more episodes of a show called 16 Hudson.
Yay.
You're on that show too.
I am.
Yeah.
That's a cute one. Show. It's a preschool show. Mm-hmm. Super cute. Mine is also a Lego show. I'm on Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising, which is super fun. It's like an extension of Ninjago. And there are dragons in it, which is great. So that's a fun one. I get to play a bad guy in that one, and some other auxiliary characters. So villains, they're my forte. Funny villains.
So you've both been doing voice actor work. Have you done anything else, like theater or other forms of acting?
Kelly has, me not so much. When I was a child, I did on-camera acting. I was in the X-Files and Little Women, but only as a child. And Kelly and I actually met when we were both children
Kids,
on
yeah.
the TV series called Madeline. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. No, wow. A lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I have a degree in theater, actually. So I grew up doing theater, kind of community theater, and then I was in a youth theater, and then I went to school to study theater, and I founded a theater company, or joined a theater company that was already founded, but was one of the people running the company. And so I've done a lot of theater. That's why it's so nice to be in backstage in a theater again. But I haven't done a show since the pandemic started, so it's been a good 5 years since I've been on stage. Nowadays, my theater bug gets kind of fed by playing D&D. It's like where I get my kind of role-playing, world-building, kind of imagination side out, other than voiceover stuff, but that's kind of... It's not
Awesome.
performing necessarily, but it feels like sort of the same thing. Kind of
that's
collaborative
Somewhat acting.
storytelling. Yeah.
I also got a bunch of questions in from our volunteers who are working
Oh,
around
okay.
the con right now.
Thank you to all the volunteers.
Yeah,
by the
thanks.
way.
You make this thing run.
One of them is curious if you have used your voice actor skills to prank people.
To prank people. Well, no. For me, it works against me, not for me. I think I've gotten a bit better, but for the longest time, I could never call. Now you can do it on your phone, but back in the olden days, you had to call to get a taxi, and they would just never show up for me. Or
'cause they thought you were a kid.
Thought I was a kid, or a
Oh, no.
telemarketer would call and say, "Well, is your mom or dad there?" So, yeah.
That's actually a great way to get out of telemarketer.
Yeah,
phone
and then I
call,
just
though.
say, no, mom and dad, no, they're not here.
Right.
Because
Amazing.
they don't live here, because I'm an adult.
I've never used my voice acting skills to prank someone, but maybe now I should. That's never occurred to me. I might start doing some old-fashioned prank phone calls, but who answers the phone anymore?
Yeah,
I don't
nobody.
know.
Yeah, I still get a bunch of scam calls. So.
Yeah?
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you want to work at this place, or your computer is broken?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Another question I got from our volunteers is, what's something you wish you had known at the beginning of your career?
Oh, what a great question.
That is a really good question.
That's a hard one.
I think something about there being ups and downs. There are ebbs and flows to this business, and you kind of have to learn to appreciate the times when you're working a lot and there's a lot of fun stuff happening, because inevitably there are dips that happen where you're not really on a show and not much is happening and your colleagues are working, and that can be disheartening, but you kind of have to ride those dips. Everyone goes through that multiple times in their career. So it'd been, I don't know, I rode them anyway, but it would have maybe been nice as a young person to know, that's just normal, that's the business. It's not a business where you climb a ladder and, eventually you're CEO. Just sometimes you're working and sometimes you're not. And that's just the business, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wish I had known the direction of technology that things were going, and maybe I would have invested a little bit more into learning the engineering technical side of things, because nowadays you have to do all your own auditions and your own recordings at home, and it's something that I really struggle with. So I wish I felt like if I'd gotten into that a bit sooner, I would just know it. But now I'm lazy.
That's absolutely fair. For you, Andrea, you voiced 2 characters on the show. Tell me, Do you have a favorite?
No.
Controversial.
No. I like them both the exact same.
Politically correct answer.
Yes.
And for Kelly, did the voice acting for Starlight Glimmer change throughout her reformation process? And if it did, how?
Well, it definitely changed from kind of prior reformation to after, in that season 5, and then there's a big shift. So we definitely talked about how her voice might be different as well, or how my performance might be different. Because I always thought of Starlight in those original episodes as not really being her authentic self, kind of putting on this public persona in order to control everybody. And also, she wanted to be liked, I think. And so after that kind of reformation, we talked about sort of dropping that and just making her kind of my natural speaking voice, which is a lot of the characters I play. A lot of characters live in just kind of my natural range. So yeah, there was definitely a discussion about that, and I'm assuming people hear the difference. But over the course of time, I think she kind of stayed in that pocket pretty much the whole time. Yeah, we found definitely her goofier sides as seasons went on. I think, writers start thinking of like, okay, we've done this with the character, and what else can we do with them? And she was always kind of like quite kind of blunt and silly and kind of dry and sarcastic sometimes. So, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Shall we move it on to the audience?
Sure.
Please.
Thank you for those questions.
Absolutely. You can get to the microphones. If you have a question, please line up on the sides. Have you done anything in Amsterdam yet?
Since yesterday, walked around, had some dinner. I had I'm not going to say this properly, for dinner, stamp pot?
A stamppot.
Stamppel.
That was pretty close, actually.
Yeah? Oh, so delicious.
Which one did you have? Like the one with...
A meatball, and then the mashed potatoes with
Kale?
vegetables. No kale.
Oh,
Is there
Carrots?
sometimes kale? Carrots, with everything mashed.
Yeah.
I think carrots and potatoes.
It
Was so delicious.
It's like one subtype of stamppot.
Oh, okay.
It's called hutspot.
Okay.
And it has kale in it, as you said?
Carrot and mashed potatoes.
So there's another one with kale?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe tonight. It was so good. And then I also had some apple pie.
How was it?
Amazing. Not too sweet. It was so good. And we were also both raving about the mint tea with
Oh,
the
yeah.
fresh mint.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so lovely. They don't make a mint tea like that at home.
No?
It's just a mint tea bag.
Yeah, like dried mint.
Get
Yeah.
like a plant of mint and
Yeah.
Yeah.
put it in your garden. And
That's
you'll
I
have the
I
mint
have
ready.
some. I never even occurred to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I only make mojitos with mine, but tea is probably a much
That is also a very good
healthier.
use.
There's not much left.
So let's get to the audience.
Hello, I had a question to both of you. How much influence do you have on the way that your characters react? Is it more like that the script is written and then it is more set in stone? Or do they argue with you, like, for example, we would like this character go in this direction? How do you think would your character react?
I think the overall writing for the show, the writers and executive producers handle that in terms of like the character arcs and stuff. But we're encouraged sometimes to like ad lib in session, for this show anyway. And in terms of like small, just actual reactions in the moment, we're often encouraged to kind of ad lib things. But most of the time, I would say we stick pretty close to the script.
I think, the one-off reactions, that's then what was so fun about being in the room together is that you could have a genuine reaction to what someone would do. And sometimes that wouldn't be in the script because you'd have your lines, but then just the kind of noises after someone says something, you can add that in, which we did quite a bit.
Yeah. Tabitha's
you.
known for that.
Yes.
She's great. She's the master.
So up next, on the left.
Hello.
Hello.
Left.
So my question probably for Andrea, because you play two characters, does it ever get like manic in your head when you're having a conversation with yourself? Like, does that make you go insane?
No, it was tricky. First season, I did it completely separately. So we do the scene with one character and then I'd go the other. And then it's just like anything, the more you did something, I mean, how many episodes did we do of My Little Pony? Not enough, okay. Agree. It's just the more you do something, the easier it gets. And now it's just second nature. Don't even think about it. They're just so distinct. So starting kind of, I guess, midway through season 1, I started incorporating them in the same scene. And I'd always have a pink highlighter and a yellow highlighter so that it was just very clear in my mind visually if I'm looking at that color to switch. But then even now, it's just, they're so differently placed. It's easy to switch back and forth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I also have a question for both of you. As you voice these characters for years and years on end, do you get involved or do you start relating to the characters in the sense that if you read a script and something big happens, like Starlight gets to be a gremlin, change the princess's cutie marks, Fluttershy gets to finally build her animal sanctuary, do you ever get excited by reading the scripts like, oh, this is a big episode, I'm already hyped to voice this?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
I think the characters were so well defined from the very beginning by Lauren that it was so easy to see what your character would and wouldn't do, and the writers were really good, stayed true to that. But I think also there were times too, especially when we did the movie, that, okay, would your character do this or would they not do this? And you just know them inside and out. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next,
It's just a simple one for Andrea. Can you say the Pinkie Pie swear, please?
Oh, this one? Cross my heart and hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye.
Okay.
Phew. I'm rusty.
That was good.
Hi. Before I ask my question to you both, I would also like to thank Kelly for voicing Barbie all those years in the Barbie
Yeah.
movies. Although this is PonyCon, I think it's a really important job that you did, and those movies are really important to me. So
Thank you. That's
you did
lovely
an
to
amazing
hear.
job. So my question to you both is, are there any franchises or stories that you would like to use your voice for? Anything that you haven't explored yet?
I always say the Muppets.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't it be a dream to work with the Muppets? Like that would be the,
Yes.
I've done a lot of amazing things and that's it, I could die happy. It'd be incredible to be a Muppet, because I love puppeteering, but it would also just be amazing to like be on stage or be, in something with the Muppets. That would be the pinnacle. Anything Jim Henson Company related.
Yeah.
And then-
I always had a dream to be on The Simpsons.
You could, that's still happening. Could
It
be
is
a
still
reality.
happening, yeah.
Still happening.
Maybe a
Just give them
little,
a call.
a pony might hop across the screen.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool question.
up next.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm so glad that you are both of you. I don't have a question for Kelly, unfortunately, but I have a question for Andrea. Are you aware of that you were also voicing not only Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, but also other characters as Bon Bon?
Yes.
That was the special one of its episodes. Yeah. And were you aware of all of these stories behind what the fandom did?
Yes, well, that was the whole idea of that episode.
Yeah, of course.
It was so, that script came about and actually all of us, the main 6, were told, oh, you're not needed, right? So it was really nice. They said, oh, we feel kind of bad. So we were able to come in, and Ashley and I had a really fun time voicing Bon Bon and Lyra. Yes, we know about all the fandom shipping, and I love it. It's so fun.
Something's happening with the mic.
Mic adjustment.
Oh, by the way, Andrea.
Yeah.
I saw Ashley 2 weeks ago, and she told me to say hi to you.
Oh, it's because we just missed each other. We were supposed to see each other in Vancouver, and her plane was delayed, and so thank
Just
you.
missed it.
Thanks for passing
Okay.
that along.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, hello to you both, and thank you so much for the amazing work you've done over the years in My Little Pony. He asked my question that I was going to ask just now, so I have to ask another question then. Do you have a special or funny moment from a convention you've been a guest of honor to over the years that was very special or fun for you personally? Any convention anywhere in the world?
Well, you know what I was just thinking about? It's kind of at a convention, but kind of not. I was just wondering if there was any Czech brownies here. Oh, hi. Do you know the story I'm going to tell? So I was at Galacon quite a few years ago, and the Czech bronies invited me to their meetup in Prague. And I went to their meetup, but nobody talked to me, and I just stood there. I guess because no one recognized me, because I just looked normal. And I went and I had a beer it was at a restaurant pub, and was just kind of wondering. I didn't see anybody, they didn't see me. And then later I tweeted and said, I tried to go to the Czech bronies meetup, but no one, I couldn't see anyone. And they were just, were any of you there at this time? Not you? Oh yeah, no one's admitting it, huh? You were there? You were there. And it was just so funny. They're like, you actually went, we can't believe it. You were there, and we were there, and we just didn't. So yeah, it was a mess, but that's okay. I had a lovely beer.
What a
Prague is a
tragedy.
nice
Yeah.
city. Yeah, Prague is a nice
I did
city.
Prague is beautiful. Yes.
Well, there have been so many like touching and lovely things that have happened, and funny things. It's hard to kind of pick out any. I think the thing that I love is weird stuff you're asked to sign. There's been some cool things over the years, like tattoos, lots of cars and vehicles and stuff. I signed a giant stuffed salmon once, and I'm not sure why. I asked the person, I was like, "Why salmon?" And they went, "I don't know. It's just like something they thought it would be funny to have someone sign." So.
A working party cannon I once.
Oh, fun!
Yeah.
Did you get to see it in action?
Yes.
Cool. That's good.
Fun!
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Sorry for my voice. Thank you for coming here. I just wanted to tell you, it's not really a question. I wanted to tell you that we came from Greece with my husband because I told my friends I'm gonna be Barbie, and you're my favorite voice from Barbie Alina. She was my favorite Barbie growing up, and I'm turning 30 this November. I just wanted to tell you thank you for this because I grew up with you, literally.
Oh, happy birthday, Efkaristo.
Thank you.
I know 2 Greek words, and that's one of them.
Thank you very much. You're both great. Thank you.
Thanks for coming all this way. Aw.
Hey, I have another question for Kelly this time. You mentioned earlier that when you came in as Starlight, you weren't aware how long you will stay. So how did it change over the season? At which point did you know that you will be there for another season final, or that you even will stay after, or that your character will even stay after this?
Right. Well, I mean, I was in the finale for season 5, and then there's obviously a break between seasons, and they, write episodes for the next season. So I thought, well, that was fun. So we did that, and then there was they call them like avails checks, where the company will contact your agent and say, okay, is so and so available for these next recording dates? Because they'll be in these episodes, and I got an avails check for My Little Pony, and I went, oh, that's fun, they're bringing back for another episode. And then I showed up on day 1, and Jason, who was the animation director at the time, said, no, you're gonna be Twilight's new kind of protege, or she'll be your mentor. And I went, oh, that's cool. So that's when I found out. So I had no idea at the end of season 5, or even really when we heard about season 6. So.
We never even know from one season to the next if we're going or not.
If there'll be another season.
Yeah, you're always hopeful that there'll be another season, but you don't know. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there are very few shows that are like this, where you get to do even more than one season.
Yeah.
2 is kind of like, ooh, that was nice having 2, but you rarely go past 2. So this is you get a few in your career if you're lucky, and this one was one of those.
Thank you. Hi guys. So you've both travelled the world for this show and conventions. Are there any places you wouldn't have visited had that not happened, or any favourites, or besides Holland, obviously?
I recognize you.
The voice, right?
Yeah, hi. Everywhere.
Millions, yeah. I love traveling.
Me too.
Yeah.
Favorites.
Australia would be fun. I've heard whispers of back in the day there might have been.
I went to one
Oh, you did?
in Melbourne. Yeah,
Lucky.
it was amazing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I feel so lucky that we've gotten to travel around. This is pretty top notch. Hard to
pretty
beat
good.
being here. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing. I loved UK PonyCon. GalCon,
Yeah.
amazing. I heard there was one in Milan. Is that anyone? Did anyone go to that? Yeah?
Yeah, PonyFest.
Yeah, I was going to
Was it
say
good?
Italy
That was
would be great.
Yeah? Yeah, it was good. So yeah, it's all good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
I want to ask, do you own any fan-made merchandise of your characters, like that giant plush Fluttershy over there?
Do we have any fan made?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got lots and lots. I had so much that it was just getting to a point where it was a little bit much.
Where do you put it?
Where do you put it?
Yeah.
And I just kind of was starting to feel like a hoarder. So I put a message out to all of my local friends with kids, and all these kids came by and they got to pick what they wanted from my stuff. And
Did you get it all as gifts, or
Yeah.
did you?
well, yeah,
buy it
gifts.
yourself?
Yeah, gifts. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. I hope no one minds. It's probably hurt someone's feelings to know that. I still do have a few things too, but it was so amazing to watch these kids come over and their face just light up, and then being able to take whatever they wanted. So
Cool.
Thanks.
thank you.
Thanks.
So, yeah, hello. This goes to Andrea, I guess. So my story is I've been to the fandom only like 1.5 years.
Ooh,
And
fresh.
I'm really excited that all of this still happens. Like the show's gone since I think 2019 or was it
Yeah.
20 anyway?
19.
But really nice that you guys are here, that I can still experience all of this and get to cons and everything. And my question is just some of your favorite Fluttershy lines.
Oh, favorite Fluttershy lines. I really like, I'm a year older than you.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks.
It's my first time in the PonyCon Holland, so basically when I heard that Andrea Libman is going here, I just, yeah, I decided I must go there.
Yay! Where are you from?
Poland.
Poland. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for
So-
making the journey.
So yeah. Yeah, my question was quite similar to the previous one, but what is your favorite Pinkie Pie line? And if you can do it in the Pinkie's voice as possible.
Chimichurri, 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 chimichurri.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm all excited. My question goes to Kelly, and like when you did back in season 5, the quiet voice, when you screamed at Twilight Sparkle, was it exhausting for you, or was it like you was used to?
Yeah, it's hard to recall, but oftentimes when you're recording an episode and you have to really yell, sometimes they'll do those at the end, just in case, so you can save your voice for kind of all the regular volume stuff. And that might have been one we saved till the end, because they really wanted me to yell it. I think there weren't nearly as many exclamation marks in the script as the director actually wanted, so I remember that one being I think we had to do a couple takes of it too, so we probably did that one at the end.
Yeah, Starlight Glimmer is my favorite pony, actually.
Oh, thanks.
I was rewatching the episodes many times with her, and what was actually your favorite lines?
My favorite lines? Oh, there were a lot. Phyllis, no, is pretty good.
Yes.
I love, that's devious. I mean, tell me more. That's fun. I see. Yeah, there's some good ones. She got to say a lot of, put it on my tab. She's so cool. Except when she's not, because sometimes she's not. Yeah, she had a lot of good ones.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, I have another question. Because obviously, as a voice actor, your voice is your instrument. It's the way you earn money most of the time, unless you have a theater degree.
Still need a voice.
True. So I was wondering, say one day you wake up, it's a recording day, you have a session at some point, and the voice just ain't voicing. You've got a cold, you had too much yelling the day before. How do you deal with that?
Reschedule the sessions sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sometimes they'll do a scratch. They call it a scratch track if someone can't make it for various reasons. Or they'll have someone else read your lines just so they can kind of, whoever else is in the room has something to play off of, and they have kind of something to animate it to, and then they record you at some later date. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the beauties of doing voice work where not everyone has to be in the same room at the same time. It's nice when everybody is, but you can get around it if you can't.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so first of all, Andrea, I want to say that I'm such a huge fan. I mean, I watched the debut when I was 4, and Pinkie Pie has been my favorite character ever since. So what would you say was the biggest character development of Pinkie Pie throughout the show?
Did she really develop?
Some ponies never change.
Yes, some ponies. I think she had her moments, but what I love about Pinkie is she just kind of has this, she's so zany, but she's also so wise. Really? I mean, because she knows things that no one else knows, and she has her Pinkie sense. So she's, like, is she even...
She's been authentic the whole time.
Yeah, I think so, and she's just true to herself all the time. She knows what she likes. I don't know, I think there's nothing she can't do. Is she a time traveler? Yes, I think so. Like, she's just, gravity doesn't apply to her, time doesn't apply to her. She's just on her own plane of existence. So,
Wow, I love
don't
that.
know.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Kelly and Andrea.
Hi.
My question was, what are some other modern cartoons or shows that you really appreciate the unique voice acting of?
Oh.
What did I just see that I loved? Shoot, what was it called? It's got a weird name, so I can never remember it. Shoot. This is fun. This is exciting for everybody. Kelly can't remember the name of the thing she just watched. It'll come to you. Do you have something? While
No.
I flounder around. She-Ra. The new She-Ra was fantastic. That was great. I watched all of that. So great, so gay, so incredible, so lesbianic. It was just awesome. That was really great.
I love Bluey. I think,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Does Mindy watch Bluey? Mindy's Andrea's dog.
No,
Apparently
Mindy
dogs-
likes live action. They
Oh, yeah.
are dogs, but she likes shows with horses in it. She does watch TV, yeah.
Cute. Apparently Bluey is the colors in Bluey are visible to
Oh, really?
dogs, so dogs
Oh.
particularly
So it's just
enjoy.
not her taste, I guess.
I guess not, yeah. Horse is more a horse gal, which is fitting.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I have a question for Andrea, and this takes a little bit of introduction. It's about Pinkie Pie's family, because this has always been a bit of a weird topic. Back in season 1, there was the flashback episode, and you saw 2 characters being Pinkie's siblings, and the fandom called them Inky and Blinky, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Then in season 4, she got Maud, and then in season 5, we learned that those 2 other sisters are actually called Limestone and Marble.
right?
So
Yep.
far, so good.
Yep.
Then comes Pony Life, and there is one episode in which he suddenly has a brother, Octavio Pie. And I want to know what your reaction was when she suddenly apparently had a brother.
I think Pony Life was just, again, like another kind of, you have to just suspend your belief and just go into this different world, right? So that's what Pony Life was. It was just this, again, very zany, over the top kind of, and that's what I love about Pinkie Pie. It's just none of the rules apply to her. Yeah, she has a brother. She doesn't have a brother. She's, on the moon. She can do anything. So I think for her, anything fits, and that's the best part about Pinkie Pie.
All right, thank you for your voice.
Thank you.
All right. After this, I'm closing down the queue. So no new people in the queues, please. Oh wait, we were on that side, right?
We're on this side, yeah.
I have another question for Kelly. At the beginning, you played more villain with Starlight, later reformed villain. Which one did you like more, and which one do you think was easier to play?
Villain.
Both? Easier and like more?
I don't know if one was easier than the other. They both have challenges, and that's kind of what's interesting. But I would love to say, like, I love playing Reformed Starlight, which I do. I love playing Reformed Starlight, but playing villains is the best. It's so fun. It's so fun to be able to kind of be bad with no consequences, things you would never do and say in real life. And villains they always have an agenda, a purpose. There's something they want, which is exciting to play as an actor. You always want to play a character that wants something. And villains are very driven. So they're fun. They're just fun. I always say villain. I get to play a lot of villains, so.
I don't. I'm jealous. It is more fun, though. Yeah.
You need a really cute sounding villain on something. I think
It's
that'd be
usually,
awesome.
if I do get to play a villain, it's like a bratty kind of.
Like the mean high school
Yeah,
girl kind of thing.
yeah.
That's fun too.
Exactly, yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is the first time I've ever asked a VA, and I'm a bit shy about it. And as my attire can show, I have a specific question for a specific VA. Kelly, so I want to ask you, well, the question was already posed by the guy before me, but now I thought about another question. So, do you think that Starlight kept being herself as a villain, but only had to adjust parts so that it looked like she was good? Like, she still kept being herself, her original self, only changing appearances.
Wouldn't that be interesting to go back and watch the series with that perspective?
Yeah.
Like, is she being genuine or not? I do think she was being genuine. I don't think the reformation happened in an instant. I think that was a big pivotal moment for her at the end of season 5. But I think what's interesting about the character is we get to see her grow over, well, especially that season 6, but over time we see her struggle and backslide a lot of the time. And that's a very kind of universal experience. We don't all just kind of decide, I'm going to be a different person day one, and I'm never going to falter, and it's always going to be perfect, and I'm just going to excel at everything. She struggled. So I think Starlight's challenge was never, am I good at magic, or can I excel at this one thing? She's an extremely competent, I don't know what you would call her, sorceress maybe, but her challenge is always, how do I relate to other people in a way that grants them autonomy and agency? That's a big struggle for her. She's kind of, and it is for, I think, anybody who you could call a bully. Bullies sometimes have depth, and that's the challenge for them, is learning how to authentically relate to people.
Hi. This is a bit of a lopsided question, I'm sorry. Did either of you get to meet Weird Al in person, and what was he like?
I did. Very professional, very even keel. Like low energy, very kind of, yeah, I know. Because, yeah, he's a character, but when he's performing, he's that character. And when he's not performing, he's not. He's just completely normal. And working with him, we never recorded together, but he arranged for us to go to one of his shows, and we got to meet him after, which was amazing. But we recorded together. He would be wherever he was, and just incredibly professional, respectful, and really amazing at taking direction. Just really kind of took exactly what the director said and really just put all his faith in him, no pushback, and was able to adjust. I was so impressed. It was so fun working with him.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi. I do have to say I'm very excited because it's my first time seeing either of you in real life, or so.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is, if you have, there was a question about an interesting moment, like when traveling, but my question is if you had any funny or interesting fan interactions that you would like to share.
All of them.
All of them are interesting, or all of them are funny?
Both, and I think most are just very heartfelt, lots of emotional interactions. I think it's really interesting to meet people and they're in costume and they're living their pony persona, and then to learn that their day job is they're in the Secret Service for the White House. Like, it's just so wild, and that happened. But I love, it's just so amazing that people get to come to places like this. It's a safe space. You can be who you are. You can express yourself. I love that.
So I assume it's hard to imagine that the show had this much of an impact on so many people's lives.
Yeah. Thank you.
For me. Thank you.
And that's our last question.
Yes, for Kelly, I also want the favorite line. I think that's only fair to ask for your favorite star line.
She was asked for
What
that.
have I not?
Oh, I might have missed that.
Yeah, I said.
Okay, then I'm
That's
going
okay.
to switch for favorite pen and paper moments. That was mentioned earlier that that's played, right? So maybe just something.
Favorite pen and paper moment?
Favorite
Yes,
D&D.
I think I just something
D&D,
from
Dungeons and
Tales
Dragons.
from that maybe.
Sorry, what was your favorite?
I don't know because my question just
okay. I'm
vanished.
sorry, that was
No, that's
such a-
okay.
You can
That's
still
okay.
do a Starlight.
One of your most memorable D&D experiences.
One of my most memorable D&D experiences. Oh, there have been a million. We had an encounter that was super fun in one of my other sessions where the DM designed a puzzle room and it ended up being rock, paper, scissors. But we had to figure out that it was rock, paper, scissors, so that was fun. You kind of stepped on this tile. There's a bunch of paper in the room that was like whizzing around paper airplanes that if they flew into you would deal damage, and we had to figure out that you stepped on the scissor, these tiles that didn't really look like scissors, but once we kind of figured out what it was, if you stepped on the scissor tiles, it would kill all the paper in the room.
Oh.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your great questions, everyone. That was wonderful.
awesome.
Thank you for the panel.
Yeah. Thank you so much for moderating.
You're
Waffles.
welcome. I didn't have to moderate much, but thank you for being here. We're going to end this panel now, so can I get one last very big round of applause for Kelly and
Thank
Andrea.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.